Hey, what's up everyone? It's Foster, and I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how to install the Turbosmart Compact EM blow-off valve on your 2022 WRX. So before I get started, let's talk about why you should upgrade your factory bypass valve. Well, the main reason is upgrading to a blow-off valve like this Turbosmart one here is going to give you faster response to vent the extra boost between shifts and keep that turbo spooling, and that's going to result in increased performance. So the Turbosmart lineup has got two different models you could put on this car. One is the dual port, and that's what we've got here. They've also got a Plum back model, so that's going to be a little bit more quiet, a little bit more street friendly. So just pick which one is right for you, and also depending on where you live. These new blow-off valves are ideal for newer cars that use an electronic diverter valve, and that's because this Turbosmart EM stands for electromechanical, and it's going to integrate perfectly with your factory harness, making this a true plug-and-play solution. There's no splicing wiring harnesses or adapter brackets or adding extra vacuum lines. This really should be an easy install. So with that being said, let's go ahead and put 2 minutes on the clock and see how it goes. All right, let's run over some of the tools required for this installation. You're gonna need a 5mm hex key, a socket set with an 8mm socket and a T30 Torx bit, as well as various different screwdrivers and a nut bit set. So Turbosmart does actually have really good installation instructions on their website. If you guys are visual learners, you can pull them up that way and follow along. But the first step we have to do is to remove the plastic under tray. Now, luckily for us, we've already got it off the car since we installed that ETS intake pretty recently. I haven't had a chance to put it back on, but it's essentially just a bunch of pop clips. Just follow it along and you'll get the thing completely off the car. After that, I'm gonna remove the skid pan, and then we'll have access to the stock bypass valve. Now we've got access to the turbo inlet. I'm gonna loosen these two worm clamps and remove the coupling, and that's gonna give us a little bit more room to work. With the intake pipe out of the way, we've got a lot more room to work. Now we can use a flathead screwdriver and pry up on this clamp that's attached to your turbo inlet, and then we can disconnect that line as well. Now you can push in on the plastic tab that connects the electrical harness to your stock bypass valve and disconnect it. Loosen the 3 T30 Torx bits that are holding the factory bypass valve onto the turbo, and then you can remove it from the car. All right, we're ready to stick the Turbosmart blow-off valve in the car. Make sure you use the provided O-ring, and then you're ready to start the installation. Tighten down the new provided hardware with a 5mm Allen key. Don't forget to plug back in your OEM harness to the electrical connector on your new blow-off valve. Reattach the line that connects to the top of the turbo inlet. Next, get your intake piping back in place and tighten down the worm clamps. The last step of this installation is to reinstall your skid pan and your under tray, and then you're all done. Well, there you have it, a pretty simple modification to install. It doesn't take that much time. However, it is a little cluttered down by the turbos, so getting access to that factory bypass valve can be a little bit challenging, so just take your time with this project. But this is a nice upgrade for those of you who want to make big power down the road. The factory bypass valve actually does leak under higher boost pressure, and this Turbosmart one is not only going to prevent the leaks, but it's going to be a lot more responsive, as I mentioned earlier, and it's going to sound really good too. So let's go ahead and cut to some sound clips. So we just fitted the Turbosmart blow-off valve on the WRX, and I'm driving around, and you can hear a slight difference in sound. It's subtle, but it's definitely there. And the car feels really responsive too. I'm not sure if it's a placebo effect or what, but the throttle pedal definitely feels a little bit more responsive, and the turbo does as well. So far it just seems like a really nice upgrade. You're not gonna make your car undrivable as a daily driver by putting a blow-off valve on your car, And I'm sure if you had the Plum back model, it would be even quieter. So in terms of a benefit in performance, it's definitely worth it. And it's also just fun to drive with this on your car. So I'd say it's a good upgrade. So if you guys are looking to pick one of these up for yourself, I will put links in the description down below where you can find them on our website. And with that being said, see you guys in the next video.